Ready to go.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our latest webinar. And I think you're going to really like this one. We have a lot of new information that we've discovered in our research to get ready for this. Job seeking, engage with people that matter. So I want to welcome Beth Wagmeister, who is, amongst other things, an ASL interpreter for us. We're just really pleased to have brought her on board last year in our striving to get more inclusive and appeal to a lot more of an audience. So thanks for being with us, Beth. Dayve Gabbard is my very accomplished Vice President of Operations. She's coming up on her 6th anniversary with DWCS, and obviously she's an integral part of our team. So we welcome all of you, and as always, anyone that's registered will get the replay link, but we're happy to have you join us live for this presentation. So with that, I'm going to have Dayve introduce a couple of pointers for you about our model.
Thank you. We always like to just level set our expectations and our brand, our approach to LinkedIn as a window that we look into LinkedIn through, so that you understand what our main perspective is. And we're old school networkers. You do business with people that you know, like, and trust. Handshakes, eye contact, please, and thank you. We just do it with the digital platform now and have access to the entire professional world. So you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And so when we work with our clients, the first thing we focus on is making sure that they have a complete and optimized profile. You want to make sure that you are represented as professionally as possible on your LinkedIn profile, so that when someone lands on your profile, instantly have a great sense of who you are, your professional accomplishments, and why they want to know more about you. Next thing is that we teach our clients to engage with their network and build their network thoughtfully. We want you to personalize your invitations to connect and really treat it like a networking process, not just a spray and pray sales process. Please, please don't use LinkedIn to perpetuate bad sales behavior. Okay, that's the #1 complaint that we get from folks on LinkedIn. And then finally, as you're building your network, engage with them in a way that builds value. When you're on the feed on the daily basis, we want you to make sure that you're sharing content that speaks to your professional platform, not just advertisements and sales pitches for you or your products, but also professional information that identifies you as an expert in your area and as somebody that I would want to learn more from, or that you're top of mind when I need your goods or services. So that's the DWCS model. That's the perspective that we come to LinkedIn through. All right, Debbie, let's talk a little bit about the webinar today and this content.
Thank you, Dayve.
Sure.
So first things first, and a lot of you are going to be familiar with these things, but it's a really brief rundown on what your profile should look like prior to having an HR person land on it. So we hope these reminders will kind of give you a head start or a continuation of paying attention to what you look like. Make sure you have a good headshot, and smartphones work great. Of course, a professional photographer is awesome. If you can swing that, that's great. But make sure it's from the shoulders up, and smile, and please face the camera. And have someone else hold that smartphone if you're going to do it that way. No selfies. Headline, you want to include your most impactful keywords. Keywords are your expertise. Remember, they're not adjectives. And you want to include them in specific places on your profile, but first of all, your headline. Right after your headshot, that is the first thing that the viewer is going to see. So get your most impactful keywords right there in your headline. Your About section should be a collection of things. These pointers are reminders. Again, everyone on this call that registered is going to get these slides. So I'm going to breeze through some of these because I like to get over to LinkedIn Live. You want to include a CTA, though. That's something we often see that's omitted, and that gives the viewer a quick way to reach out to you. You have to remember that that little link called contact info, the information under that is only visible to people that are connected to you. So make sure that you make it clear in the About section how they can reach you. Your experience section, please use the description fields. A lot of people just put the name of the company, the start, finish, and they leave it at that. Let people know what your most prominent accomplishments were in each of those previous each of the previous jobs you had. The skills section, you can rearrange them so that your what we call the top 3 are visible to the viewer. A lot of people are lazy. They are not going to click on show all. So make sure you pull your top 3 skills to the very top of the list. Additional fields. This is something some of you may not have explored. It's at the top of your profile. It's right underneath your headline, and it's a little bubble. It doesn't really stand out much. It just says additional profile fields. Make sure you tap on that and explore everything that's under there. It's all about content, and that's going to give you additional content. It's almost unlimited. So make sure you check that tab too. Okay. I am going to be going over to LinkedIn in a second to do some live searches, because this is really interesting how I think the algorithms changed just a little bit over the past few months. We work with a lot of people in transition. I started to get frustrated by the results I was getting from searching a specific title the way I've done for years. And I was getting a whole bunch of results, and the titles were not anywhere near what I had asked for. So there's a reason that happens, and we want to make that clear today. And here it is. You may not have known that the search engine actually goes through every bit of text in every job description. So when you do a search on a certain title, you're going to get some wonky results, and I'm going to show you a live search in a second. You need to filter it down and enter your title desired again in the title field, and it's going to be on the right. So again, let me go live, and I just did a couple of searches for, I'm going to do HR manager first. Let me get over to LinkedIn. And we're coming. Okay. Dayve, verify you can see the job page, right? Okay. All right. So typically, this is what I've done for years, and I'm just going to use HR manager. Remember, when you've got more than one word, put quotes around it, and that's going to give you better results just right off the bat, because you're telling the search engine, just give me. This is where I used to get a little irritated until I learned. I'm asking the search engine, just give me results for HR manager jobs. And I'm just going to stick with our area. Remember, if you're in my area, West Palm Beach, Florida actually means Palm Beach County. So I asked for HR manager. Well, I'm getting a merchandising service associate down here. I'm getting a general manager here. I'm getting a senior. Well, okay, they're okay on that first one, kind of. But the point is, you need to fine tune it a little bit further. And you have all these filters. And by the way, all of this is available on the free basic profile. I happen to be on premium, but what I'm showing you is available to people on the basic profile. So you have this second layer of search filters. I want you to go right over to all filters over here. I wish they would highlight that in yellow, and then go right down to the bottom, towards the bottom. You have a lot of things you can filter on. Look for the header that says, it's coming, title. Oh my gosh, they really have added a lot here. And I have a couple of things in the way. We're getting there. You can really get fine-tuned. Okay, so I need to move this little row of people out of the way. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm searching for HR manager, and I know it's under this one, even though I can't see the rest of the text. I'm going to tap on this title, and right down here, you're showing, they're showing me it's going from 316 results. I got that up here, down to a single digit. So I'm going to hit show. And now we're cooking. Okay, so now you've got it shows one result. So it drilled it down to Director of Human Resources. But I guarantee you, when you take a minute and filter using the title field after your initial result, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. This is not on the slides, but I also wanted to point out that when you search, unless you change the date posted, you're going to get everything that has been posted. And some of those jobs might be old, and the people that posted them may not have removed them, and they might be quite outdated. So again, filters are great. Save yourself some time. Use all of them across here. And what's nice also is the experience level. You know, if you're not, you know, top of the chain for experience, like executive, then you want to pick a more appropriate level for your skill set. So this is all about making your searching more productive so that you can go on and do the next tip. I'm going to stick with this ad that just came up because now this is a premium feature. So if you're on basic, you're not going to be able to use this tip, but you will be able to get to the HR person through the next thing I show you after this slide, which is going to be about company pages. So in this case, if you're on premium and you find a job that you like, if it's included, they're going to show you who posted the job. And I happen to be connected right to Robin. So if I were looking, I could go right to her because I'm connected. So I've got access to everything on her profile, including her email, her phone number, whatever else she's got in there. Okay, well, let's assume that it's you folks that are searching and you're on premium. And if you haven't tried it, take advantage of the 1 month free trial and do this. You can do a lot of searching in a month, and it'll give you the ability to do exactly what I'm showing you. They'll give you all kinds of additional information on each job you look at. So my point here is take advantage of these occasions when the ad poster is presented right to you. Go to their profile. All you have to do is tap on their name and boom, you're on their profile. And I've even included a template that you can change however you want. The suggestion I'm making might surprise you. Ask that person to connect with you. And as terrifying as that might sound, it is a very appropriate step to take. It'll show them a couple of things. First of all, you know how to do this, get to their profile. And don't forget, now, if I was not connected to her, I would hit connect, and then there would be an additional option to add a note. I'm already connected to her, so it's not going to give me that option on this example. But reach out to the person posting the job and give them a very simple, where am I? Hold on one second. Give them a very simple invitation to connect. And that would be going right back to, I think I'll get it. Here we go. And okay, so give them a very generic but pointed invitation that does not sound desperate. And here's a good way to do it. Now, I have been connected to a lot of HR people for a long time, and we run things by them all the time to try to stay up to speed on the latest techniques and strategies for job hunting. It's totally appropriate to do this. I encourage you to do it. It's going to show initiative to getting your foot in the door, and you have taken the time to compose a decent, non-threatening invitation to connect. So always use their first name. Hello, first name. I noticed your ad for whatever the job is, and as an experienced whatever you're best at, I have an interest to express how I would be a good fit for the role. I'd like to connect, please. Be polite. And thank you. And then you sign your full name and nothing else. Don't give them your phone number or your email. And I actually saw an example of an invitation somebody sent out to an HR person, and they started their invitation with hello, whatever, please, in capital letters. Don't do that. That's not going to get you a connection, and it's not going to leave a good impression. So that's one tip about fine-tuning your job searches. All right, another strategy is stay aware of the connections you have who have new jobs. And this is nice because it's the same steps whether you're on desktop or mobile. And you go to My Network, Celebrations, and Job Changes. And let me flip over to LinkedIn again. My Network right here. Celebrations, so they don't make this bold or anything, so you wouldn't even see it. If you tap on See All Celebrations, everybody has this. Doesn't matter if you're on a paid membership or not. And the default is Job Changes. So right here, you get a 9 hours ago, 22 hours ago. This is up to the minute. Members on LinkedIn who have announced that they have new jobs. Now, the idea here is you are able to message these people and send them a congratulations. And going back to my PowerPoint, drop a line to congratulate them, you know, strike up a conversation. The idea here is they've just gotten hired by a company. They probably put some time into selecting that company and researching them. Tell them you're really happy to see that they're in a new job, and could they tell you a little bit about the company, and let them know that you are job seeking, particularly if they are in a company that has openings in your area, in your field of expertise. So who knows, you know, the employer might be recruiting. Now, this is my favorite tip. If you really want to grab their attention, use this. And the mobile app is great. And I give you the steps right here. When you go to messaging on your phone, and this is true for either iPhone or Android, you want to choose somebody to send a message to, and you'd normally write it out. Right to the right of that write a message field, there is a little microphone icon, and you want to use that 1 minute, because that's what it is. They give you a 1 minute opportunity to leave a voicemail message. And if you haven't done this, I'm going to encourage you to try it anyway on anyone for any reason, just to see how it works. It's very cool. On the receiving end, under messaging on LinkedIn, they get this blue line, and obviously it's a recording. So a lot of people don't even know that this is available. And I'm telling you, it's become one of my favorite things to do. So it's a lot of fun to do that. And that will make an impression because, again, you're going to show them even more about your knowledge about LinkedIn. All right, companies. If you have a list of companies that you'd like to work for, and keep in mind, there are more than 35 million LinkedIn pages. And for those of you who aren't aware of the switch, they dropped the word company a while back. So now on LinkedIn, you have LinkedIn profiles and LinkedIn pages. So the pages are now available to organizations, nonprofits, universities, anyone, almost anyone with a group can create a LinkedIn page now. And every page has an available link for the number of employees on LinkedIn. So I'm going to switch back over to LinkedIn and show you how this works. All right, and I'm just going to use Florida Power and Light, my favorite utility. And I'm just going to go to their company page. All right, so I want to view the page. I've been following it for a long time because I actually went after a job there about 12 years ago when I was trying to figure out what to do. So when you go on to a company page, each page is set up the same. They'll always have a list of employees that are on LinkedIn. And what you want to do here is simply tap on that link. And again, LinkedIn knows you're searching. So pay attention to these filters right up here. And now we've got 6,600 employees in front of me. That's a pretty big number. We're going to filter it. I always go right to all filters. And in this case, I would go right down to the bottom. And we get down there, all the way down. It's all kinds of filters in between. But if you have a specific person in mind that you want to get in front of, like the HR manager, then there's lots of ways. Somebody might title themselves. So this might take a couple of searches, but HR manager, HR director, director of HR, human resources, talent acquisitions, it kind of goes on from there. I always start with HR manager. I don't know, I just think it's a really common title for this particular job. And I'm going to show the results. Okay, so in FP&L, there are 7 staff people who are HR managers. And you'll notice one is showing their picture. And this happens, don't get discouraged. A lot of HR people on LinkedIn seriously don't want to be hounded by job seekers. So they choose to, they choose their setting for visibility maybe differently from you and I. And this one is just totally hiding. I can get onto the profile. It's not going to show me a whole lot, definitely not the picture. And then some people have settings set so that they don't show their picture, their headshot, until you're connected. I will never understand that. I always want to see who I'm connecting with. I don't want to wait till after. So Tony has a picture. I'm second level to him, which means we have at least one person in common. Well, in this case, I have 7 people in common, 8 people in common with Tony. I'm going to take this training a little bit further than the slide. So you can now connect here, and you can add a note from here. That's an improvement they made in the past year. You used to have to go to their profile and do the connect and add a note. Now you can do it right here. And you can also, if you have mutual connections, lean on them. I'm going to tap this. It's going to give me the list of people that we're both connected to. I know a couple of these people right off the bat that I could easily go to and say, hey, Rick, I noticed you're connected to Tony, and I'm trying to get my foot in the door for an interview. Can you introduce me? It's really simple. Rick's either going to say, sure, I'll introduce you, or he's going to say, and be ready for it, oh, geez, I don't really know Tony. I'm just connected to him. This goes back to our very first lesson about connecting with people and building your network. Have something in common. Have some synergy with every single person you connect with so that you can leverage them later. And that's what this process is called. It's leveraging the people in between to get to the target. Now, if you get that response and you go through all the mutuals and they really don't luck out for you, then go right to Tony and hit, connect and add a note and use a similar note for an invitation that I've shown you on the previous slide. So hopefully those tips are going to help you out. I know even if you're not job seeking, all the filtering we just told you about is definitely going to help you get better results, with your searching efforts. Okay, and here's another template that you can use for getting in front of an HR person that you don't have anybody in common with. Again, it's harmless. It would be great to be added to your potential candidate list for opportunities. Why not? You're being very professional. Give these tips a try because they do work. They do work very well. And I think I'm going to turn this over. Let's see, to Miss Dayve. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Debbie. So we want to wrap things up. Always want to let you know that we founded the company as a long-term job seeker. We have a special place in our heart for job seekers and the power of LinkedIn to support you in your job search and your career evolution. So always feel free to reach out to us. Want to make you aware of our upcoming webinars. May 31st is going to be called Hidden Gems. It's all about the right places to add additional content and little hidden areas that you can use to elevate your profile above your competition. Specifically, things like voice memo that will differentiate you. Most people don't know it's there or don't use those kind of functionalities. So there's all kinds of little yummy tips and tricks inside of LinkedIn like that we'll be sharing in May. So mark your calendar now. And as a member of our webinar community, you will receive an email with us with advice when the registration for our upcoming webinars are available. So we'd also like to invite you to continue to connect and engage with us on our social channels. Please, if you haven't followed DW Consulting Solutions on our LinkedIn page, or if you haven't connected with either Debbie or me, please feel free to do so. We would love to add you to our community, our networks on LinkedIn. We do have a monthly newsletter. If you haven't subscribed, we suggest that you do. Lots of great tips in there, as well as information on how you can connect and follow Debbie to networking events. You can always visit our website and receive a free download on some additional LinkedIn tips with our ebook. And then we do have other social channels. If you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, we would love that. And finally, the offer always stands. If you haven't booked your 15-minute profile review with either Debbie or me, please feel free to do so. Those links will be available on the final slide and in our follow-up email. We promise we will be gentle. We promise that it's painless. We promise that you'll walk away with 3 or 5 things that you didn't know you needed to do to optimize your profile. And it's completely no strings attached. We just love to make sure that everyone is making the absolute best first impression that they can make on LinkedIn. The final slide shows you how you can get in touch with me and Debbie and Beth as well, WAG group. So please reach out and make sure you've added us to your network.
Great. So thank you so much, Dayve and Beth, for helping me to present this webinar. And thank you to everybody that's attended. Please make sure to connect with all 3 of us. You know, every time you add one person, you're bringing their whole network into yours, and it's all those people in your network that can find you in organic searches. And over 90% of searches are done with keywords. So make sure that you get connected to us, bring all those extra people into your network that can find you. So good luck on your search. Stick with us. We'll be giving you more tips. And thank you again. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.